Hello, class. So today we're going to be covering Chapter 8, SWOT analysis. For our discussion, it's set to develop a SWOT analysis for your own organization. So usually I go with like the Army stuff and the military stuff, but today I thought I'd just do GNC, which is the other like company I worked for before I started school. So I'll just do GNC. First, starting off with the strengths. So two strengths that I thought of for GNC is first one being brand name reputation. So obviously GNC has been around for a while, and it's like they have actual legitimate stores. So I feel like that's a strength just because customers can come in and see the products, and they could verify that it's legit and it's not like buying stuff online where you really don't know what you could get until you actually get it shipped and whatnot. So I would definitely say that's an advantage or a strength. And then another strength that I thought of that we'd actually do in store was price matching. So if a customer came in with a product from another store, like from another place, and they showed us that the price was cheaper with the other store, then we could price match the product and then sell it to them at that price. So I feel like that's another strength because then it would attract more customers, that way too. Moving on to the weaknesses. So one of the weaknesses I thought for GNC was loss of customer goodwill. So it's kind of like having stores is good, but let's say like a customer has a bad experience with the store or their employees, and they could lose customers that way too. So I thought that was a weakness, just because if you get an employee who's like bad with customers, then it kind of ruins like the whole brand or the whole idea of the store. So I thought that was a weakness. And the next weakness I thought of was a high conflict in politics. So a lot of time, it doesn't make sense now, but let me just explain. So like with GNC, you would have a lot of brands who would they'd have their products in store, and then let's say they get sued, or like something came up with the company, they go bankrupt or something like that, then we would lose the product from them, and then we couldn't put it on the shelves no more. So I would say that's another weakness, just because you let's say a customer is like really hooked onto a brand that we have in store, then if the company gets into like political problems, then it kind of just goes downhill. So I would say that's another weakness. Moving on to the opportunities. So an opportunity I thought of for GNC was that they have a wide range product. So by that I mean like usually like even every week we would get products, like new products that the company would try to sell in their stores. And I feel like that's an opportunity for them, just because they're starting to widen their actual products. So like we'll get new proteins, new creatines, and then sometimes we'll get like even totally new products like a new type of like greens blends or something like that. It's just new stuff that's coming to the market, and I feel like it's good opportunities for GNC to sell that stuff. The next opportunity I thought of was reduced rivalry among competitors. So kind of with this, I thought of like like since they do have stores and they are legit products, and I feel like they kind of do like gain an edge over other stuff like online or like even other nutrient shops and whatnot. So I feel like that was another opportunity, just because they've been around for a while and it's a legit brand. Um, and moving on to the threats, which is the last part. For threats, a threat that I thought of for GNC was increase in domestic competition. So it kind of goes back to the last point. There are other supplement shops like the Vitamin Shop, like small mom and pop like shops that are vitamin shops as well. So they are competitors that do end up taking a lot of the business away from GNC as well. And then they are cheaper, so even if customers don't know, we price match, and they're gonna end up going with the other competitors. And then the last threat that I thought of for GNC was online shopping, which is pretty big right now, and I feel like that's one of the biggest threats that they actually have. So usually, like nowadays, everyone buys their products online, whether it be Amazon or even like the TikTok shop. They do sell a lot of supplements now on TikTok shop, and they'll be like really cheap. So it'll be like a whole tub of creatine for like $8 versus when we would sell it in store, it'd be like a tub for like $30. So obviously there's a threat in that. But then again, you don't really know what you're buying sometimes with these websites. But that's definitely another threat that I thought of. But yeah, that's mainly it. That's all I could think of for that. And yeah, thank you.